Let's now talk about how we can observe these maxims proposed by Grice. Grice sees a cooperative principle as a supreme or a super principle which includes some small principles inside it, or it has certain components which together make this principle. Overall, we can say, as proposed by Grice, the cooperative principle consists of four major principles or maxims, and they include maximum of quantity, maximum of quality, maximum of relation, and maximum of manner. Let's now see these maxims in a bit of detail. Maximum of quantity includes saying as much as is needed. Do not say too much or too little, so that your reader may be confused about the meaning, or he may not be able to judge meaning. Do not say too much to confuse your listener or reader. Similarly, do not say too little so that your listener would not be able to understand what you intend to say. So providing right amount of information is about fulfilling the maximum of quantity. Similarly, the maximum of quality focuses on saying the right information. Do not say something which is false or which lacks evidence. So saying something which you believe is to be true. If you do not believe that something is true, do not say it. If you believe that something is not true or is wrong and you say it, that means you are violating the maximum of quality. So the maximum of quality focuses on looking at the veracity or truthfulness of what we say. One point which I would like to emphasize there is that Grice did not propose this maxim considering the absolute definition of truth or the universal truth. It's a truth which has certain evidence, or which you believe is to be true. There might be something you believe is true, but it is actually not true. But your knowledge, your information informs you that it's true. So you can have the conviction, and if you say that, you are still following the maximum of quality. So it is somehow a contextual truth. A maximum of relation focuses on saying the relevant things. It's about relevance. So when you say something relevant to what is already being discussed or what has already been said in a certain context, so you are being relevant and following the maximum of relation. Similarly, maximum of manner is saying things in a manner in which your hearer or listener would be able to understand it. So this maxim actually focuses on eliminating ambiguity or confusion of manner in a conversation. So try to speak your words in a way that your reader would be, or your listener would be able to understand easily. A clear fulfillment of these maxims may be demonstrated in the following exchange. Participant A says, "Do you know where I can buy some petrol?" B says, "You can buy petrol at the garage around the corner." The answer seems to be direct, and apparently it seems to answer the question posed by A. But we have to assume a few things in order to understand this further. In this regard, we assume that participant A is asking a question, and the participant B shows his best knowledge when he says that. We assume that he is fully confirmed that there is definitely a garage around the corner, and he is not misleading the participant A. If he is giving exactly the right amount of information, then he is following quantity. If information for which B has given has evidence, and B has clear evidence for that information, then he is also following the maximum of quality. If the information is directly connected to the question, then he is following the maxim of relevance or relation. And if he is saying in a manner which is not confusing and the hearer or the participant B can understand it easily, then he is also following the maxim of manner. Grice says that we generally assume that speakers observe the cooperative principle. Hearer can assume that in a good cooperative principle based conversation that the speaker is observing cooperative principle. That means, in other words, that the hearer or the listener is trusting the speaker. And then the knowledge of the maxims, the maxim which have just been mentioned, would help hearer to understand the intended or implied meaning of the speaker. So, based on these four maxims as proposed by Grice, we can construct some meaningful and understandable conversations between various participants.